Welcome, one and all, to Aisha Speaks Jade podcast, where I am your wonderful hostess with the mostest, also your podcast creator. And so I hope everyone is enjoying their evening. I hope that you had a great weekend. I will let you know this is one of those replays for you. I know I shared on my Chit Chat Chew Show podcast that on this past Friday, February the 7th, 2020, that there was a young lady that had jumped the tracks here in Atlanta. It's not sure, well, I'll put it this way. I'm not sure what her name is. I'm not sure what the rest of the story is. There's a story that she might have been pregnant. I'm not too sure. But this I do know, she took her life. And so lots of people all over the world are going through a lot of things. And it's not for us to judge them because that's between them and whoever they follow or believe in. But I can tell you there is a lot of stress, overwhelmness, anxiety, PTSD. People are feeling like failures. People are losing jobs. People are trying to figure out how they're paying rent, mortgage, car notes, car insurance, putting food on the table, not only for themselves, but if they have a family, how they're going to feed their family. People are divorcing. People are getting out of relationships. People are feeling hopeless, okay? And the rise of suicide in this world is at an all-time high. So just send up positive vibes. Just send up some vibes of healing and taking away that hurt. Just think of something positive. Prayers, chants, mantras, because we are in those last days. I'm not a religious person, quote unquote, but I am a spiritual, conscious, righteous person. We are in those last days, and a lot of things I feel are going to happen more. A lot of things are going to be exposed. And so you have to be right. Okay? We tend to put those smiles on our faces and tell everybody everything is okay. And I kind of get that, because if you don't feel like people are really not caring, not to say that's everybody, but people just don't want to tell that. So my heart goes out to her. I don't even know her name, but I don't have to know her name. But my heart goes out to her and her family, and that I hope she's in no more pain. So I just want to say that a little bit. I had shared a little bit on, again, my Chit Chat Chew Show podcast. It almost took me and my daughter close to, at least I know, 2, maybe 2.5 hours, maybe 3, to get in, because there was just so much traffic, Atlanta's traffic, and then all of this that was going on, and they had stopped the trains on both sides, and they were trying to get their life together with having shuttle buses, and that wasn't working out. And so it was just a lot going on Friday. And mind you, if you're in the metro Atlanta area, it was very cold and windy. And there were seniors out there that had been standing for a while. I'm telling you, I'm just going to say this, and then I'm going to get back to on focus. If there are any real men that's out there, and if you happen to be on the bus and you see an elderly or disabled or pregnant person, please be the man that I would hope for you to be, and get up and offer those three people a seat. The elderly, disabled, and pregnant women. Please get up. Let me tell you, I felt like I was more the man with the balls, okay, by getting up. There were seniors that was coming on. There is no way that I could have, with a conscious mind, still sat down and had that elderly woman stand up that whole ride. It's just by fortune that there was a seat behind me. But again, another elderly person got on the bus, and no man was getting up to give this woman of color a seat. You could have been a white woman, but I'm just saying, these two women just happen to be women of color. And I got up again because I have a elderly mom, and I wish someone would. Okay? That is just so rude and disrespectful. It shouldn't matter the color, but unfortunately, it did. So if you are a real man, again, if you see an elderly woman, and if you're on transportation, if you see an elderly woman, I don't care what state you're in, a disabled person, and a pregnant woman, be a gentleman. I know it's still got to be some of y'all out there. Be a gentleman, be a man, and get up and let those three people in those categories have a seat. Now, I've said my spill because that just kind of triggered me for a hot minute, but I'm back. And I'm going to talk about the topic at hand, okay? I normally don't put a whole lot of that on this podcast platform. That's kind of something more for Chit Chat Chew or even on my personal, but it was in my spirit to speak about it. So, again, welcome to a live audio, which is a replay for this past Friday, okay, which was Friday, February the 7th, 2020. And the topic is gems on how to grow your career in 2020. Gems on how to grow your career in 2020. So the first is map your goals. Map your goals. Map out what your plan or your goals are. Update your resume. Okay? You want to make sure that you keep your resume updated. Make sure that you use keywords that stand out so that when a employer sees it, it stands out and it gets their attention and interest. The next is embrace change. In 2020, even though I know it can be extremely difficult, but we should be more open to embrace change. Change can be good. Change is not always bad. Change can be good. Embrace it. Explore outside comfort zones, okay? Let's stop making excuses and let's step out of our comfort zone. I know it can be challenging, but time is moving and it's not waiting for anyone. And if you want to be successful in whatever that looks like for you, we have to embrace change. We have to step out of our comfort zone. Boost your branding. And when I speak about these, let me just reiterate. When I speak about these, I'm not preaching to you guys. I'm just speaking. And I do include myself in it because I struggle with certain things. I'll be transparent. Sometimes, I'm not embracing change. There are those times where I'm not. There are those times where I am feeling very stuck. Every once in a while, I'm playing a pity party, even though I like to get out my feelings, but I want to move forward because I don't want to be stuck in that. Okay? So, embrace change. Get out your comfort zone. Boost your branding. Boosting your branding says a lot for you. Okay? Read leadership books. I'm not telling you to stop reading the urban books and all of that, but set aside a time where you can read some leadership books, motivational books, self-care, self-help books, listen to podcasts. You can also listen to other podcasts, okay? I was listening to a podcast today. It wasn't a motivational one, but it was a podcast about a crime something. I can't think of it right now, but it was quite interesting. But definitely get into reading leadership books and anything that's positive or motivational that's going to keep you boosted. Okay, and also do affirmations and look in the mirror, and say those things to yourself. Okay. Learn a new technical skill. Doesn't mean that you have to pay a whole lot. If that's something that you want to do, you got that guap for it, then you definitely do it. But if you're working on a budget, there are definitely resources out here that can assist you. Okay? Celebrate your small wins. Okay, it's not just about celebrating big wins. Celebrate those small wins. If you have accomplished one of your goals, that celebrate it. You did a good job, okay? Don't forget to do that. Network. I know networking again can be a little uncomfortable, especially if you are an introvert. But you have to at least put yourself out there to one thing. Get out and try one new thing. Network. Okay? Whether you are working for corporate America, but especially if you have your own business, you're working on having your own business, or you have your own business, you got to get out there and network with other people who are in your field. Okay? Ask for feedback. Might make you a little uncomfortable, but it's okay. Not everybody is bad. There are going to be people that's going to give you constructive feedback. Take it and learn from it. Negotiate. Learn how to negotiate. There's so much information on YouTube and Google, and you can learn even again on podcasts a variety of different things. Utilize it. You have a phone. You pay whatever you pay monthly for your phone bill or your cell phone bill. Utilize it. Please. Don't just be paying a bill and you haven't used all of the features that are accessible on your cell phone. Utilize it. Google, research. And lastly, give it a deadline. If there's something that you want to accomplish, if you have a project, you need a deadline, do that. Give it a deadline. Set a time when you want to get it done. Okay? Sometimes we have to, I don't like that word sacrifice, but sometimes we have to push things back, right? Can't make it rain, thunderstorm, and lightning at the club every weekend, Thursday through Saturday. Sometimes you're going to have to push back, save some of that money that you be out there making it rain and you drinking and all of that. And don't get me wrong, there is nothing wrong with setting aside some you time and having fun. Whether it's going to a club, going to a lounge, going to a movie, going to dinner, girls' night out, the boys' night out, being with your homies, your husband, your wife, your spouse, significant other, partner, however the language is for you. It's nothing wrong with that. Even having a nice something at the house, whatever it is for you, set aside that. But know that if you have a business or if you're trying to get up in your career, you're going to have to learn how to push back. That means you may have to either cut the nails down, wear your own nails with some cute designs, things like that. Paint your toes. There's plenty of cute nail polish with glitter and all of that that's already in it. You might have to, I don't know, tweak with your hair, ladies. You know, I'm just saying sometimes you have to push back on things to get where you want to get to. And again, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying look nice, pretty, attractive, handsome, because you should. But just make sure that your priorities are in line with each other, okay? You can still look good, but make sure you take care of business. My mother always told me, handle your business first, everything else comes after. So guys, thank you so much for listening to that. I truly, as you know, appreciate each and every one of you. Make sure to listen to this replay, which will be available shortly after. As always, you can leave comments in any of my social media platforms, which I am on Facebook right here, right now. I am on IG, Twitter, and I have a YouTube channel. You can find me at all of them. Aisha Speaks Jade. Again, that is Aisha Speaks Jade. Facebook, IG, Twitter, and my YouTube channel, which you can go to and hit the thumbnail to subscribe to my channel, as well as hit the notification bell, of course, to look at replays and things of that nature. Also, I am on LinkedIn. You can find me at Aisha Jade Speaks. Aisha Jade Speaks. And as always, I am looking for the month of February on each of my platforms to have 200 people on each one of my platforms. So, of course, that's LinkedIn, Facebook, IG, Twitter, and YouTube. Support for support, guys. I am so serious when I say, and I'm not being mean, I'm being very honest, and this is just how I feel. I support so many things. I have supported a lot. And I know those that do support me, and I want to thank you very much. But I support a lot. So I'm just asking a support for support. And with that being said, create your greatness and your happiness. Always remember your self-care, self-love, your worth, and your value. Okay? Make sure that you catch it, check it, and change it when you go through challenges. It's not always easy, but it is achievable. Hope that you have a wonderful evening. Of course, have a better tomorrow. And with that, I say, Nam Yoho Renge Kyo, Nam Yoho Renge Kyo, Nam Yoho Renge Kyo, Ashe, and have a good evening. Peace out.